All right, let's get into it. This one is reading and writing fill in blanks, practice number 8. And you know we're going to be dealing with vocabulary, collocations, and grammar. Sometimes only vocabulary, sometimes only collocation, sometimes only grammar, and a lot of times it's mixed. So let's take a look at the first one. This one right here is going to be a collocation. Hopefully it jumps out at you because they're talking about a level of English. One of these words should jump out at you because if you know you have to take the PTE, it says it in there. Why? It tells you why you need to take the PTE because the government wants to know if you have a competent level of English. Can you fit into society? Can you speak English? Competent. That would be the collocation. Next, let's take a look. Another one. I say this is also collocation because I feel like only 2 words can go with the word students. Do you agree? Let's take a look at it. Migrant? Nah. Local? Yeah. International? Yeah. I didn't even say abroad because that just sounds kind of stupid, right? So local students and international students. We need to see which one they're talking about. We look around here, it says international benchmarks. Another one says international. I'm leaning towards international, but it doesn't actually say what kind of students until here. Foreign students. We talking about foreign students. What's another way to say foreign? International. That's the one I would pick. Let's go to the next one here. Oh, we're dealing with tenses. We got to find the clues. The clue right here. Okay, I hope you see it. What is that clue? You see the quotation? At the end they have said. This is in the simple past, right? Now, when the simple past, in the reported speech, in the simple past, you can never, ever, ever have present tense here. However, you can once it's inside the quotes. So basically, this right here, reported speech, doesn't help you with anything. It's not going to change any of the tenses inside the quotation. If you're not familiar with reported speech, I teach it in the tutorials. Now, so we got to check to see if there are clues that establish that tense, and whatever it is in the other places, it's going to be the same tense. And right away, do you see the very next sentence? Man, it's the same structure. There are, right? So because this is in quotes and they're saying present tense, I'm going to keep this the same. I'm going to keep it the same. And yes, we can have present tense when it's inside the quotes. If there were no quotes, no present tense ever with this as in the past. Okay, again, if I'm confusing you, just go watch the tutorial about reported speech. This is reported speech. Next, we have grammar. Linking words. You know these will help us just based on punctuation. Okay? So let's look at, okay, so number 1, however, you know that's gone. However is gone. Why? The punctuation is completely wrong, right? The punctuations, there are none. However requires punctuations always. Again, if you're not familiar with this rule, it's taught in the recorded tutorials. However is gone for sure. Okay? The other 3 can go. However, we have to check to see, is this a sentence? They're fairly in English, yet they're being passed by the universities. Yes, there are 2 sentences. There are 2 complete sentences. These are complete sentences. So, right away, but is gone. Why is but gone? For you to put a complete sentence after but, you gotta have a comma in the front. We ain't got no punctuations. For you to write which is gone. Because which is supposed to complete the sentence after. Which is supposed to represent a subject or an object of the sentence after. We don't need a subject or an object after. That's a relative pronoun. If you don't know, the tutorials will teach that. So, I'm only left with because. The reason is because after because, we need a complete sentence We got it. Before and after, because we can't have punctuations. We ain't got it. That's the answer. All right. Lastly, what we have here. Oh, okay. This is a vocabulary and collocation, because this we have to read a little bit, because something is at stake. At stake. We ain't talking about food right now. We ain't talking about rump steak. All right. So this ain't the food. At stake means at risk. You are risking of losing something, or risking of making something bad, I guess. So this is talking about universities. I would say, let me see, education, lodges, exports, standards. Yeah, if we're talking about high standards, I would say the reputation, high standards. Okay, so if you say your reputation is at stake, it means that, if everyone thinks you are good at something, and then you risk your reputation, it means afterwards people can think you suck. All right, so there it is. I hope that was helpful.